Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Well, or I should say, welcome back. My name is Sadhana, and welcome to card of the year readings for 2021. And welcome to 2021. I believe that everyone now is in 2021, even our friends in Hawaii and the Marshall Islands, which I learned yesterday is the last island group to move into 2021. So here we are. And the readings yesterday went beautifully. And I want to thank all of you who were in the chat yesterday. It was so wonderful to have your support, to have your feedback throughout, your cheering, your assistance as well too. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Yeah, and just before we get started today, I want to mention something else that's coming up for me, and that is let me change the screen. You can't see my face. Let's go to here. There we go. Let me say hello again. I am going to be participating in Jen at Science to Soul Tarot's Science to Soul Tarot and Transformation Gratitude Challenge again, which starts today. And right now I have in my hand the Marielle. I am going to be using this deck at least for the first few draws. And the reason I'm choosing this deck is just to express my connection with Jen, the creator of this tarot, of this tag. And also it is her favorite deck. The other thing is that this is such a deep and powerful deck. And I think just drawing one card per day will give me insight perhaps into some of the cards that haven't come up for me in other readings. And I am just going to draw my card for the first day. I'm not going to reflect on it now, but I want to have it in front of me as I go through these 10 readings. I'm sorry, I didn't put it. If Jen pops in later, I'll get her to put her channel up for you. Jen's Science to Soul Tarot and Transformation is her channel name, and she's the one. And later on today, I will put up my thumbnail for my response and reflection on my first day of gratitude. And for sure, I'll have her channel link there. So what is my card for the first day of this gratitude challenge in 2021? I'm just coming into the heart space, which is where gratitude lives, right? And so my first card is the Ace of Cups. My first card is the Ace of Cups. Wow. All right. It's I'm just the general angel energy here is what I'm looking at. Oh my God. This is so interesting. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is the devil. The top of the deck is the angel. I can show you on the card cam. It's much better. Let me reverse this. This is so, and I'll talk more about this later because I want to get onto the Tower reading. So this is the card that I drew for my gratitude. So this is the Ace of Cups and the devil's on the bottom. So I just find that fascinating. We have the angel and the devil. Well. All right, so I'm going to put that in my view and just contemplate the energy and the medicine of the Ace of Cups and the Marielle as we move through the readings today. So here we are, 5-year. I'm really being drawn to the pentacle energy of the 5-year. Pentacles, not in the sense of coins and money, but in the magic and the connection of all the elements. And the mystical, more witchy connections of the pentacle, the pentagram. And so throughout 2021, I would really encourage you to Also reflect on the number 5, the pentagrams that appear throughout your day and your week, and how that feels and how that sits with you, to also make sure that, I don't know, like throughout your day, your week, there's a time and a period of moments where you reflect on, are all the elements present? Are any of the elements out of balance? And if we have everything represented, there's something really powerful to that pentagram shape. This is also, of course, the year of the Hierophant energy, which is also connected to Taurus. And so we are it's a very strong year, as was last year. So we're moving from the 4 to the 5, from the Emperor to the Hierophant. And here today, the first reading is with the Tower. This is a very different Tower image. This is the Bone, Stone, and Earth Flesh Tarot, and I will be reading from Earth Flesh, which is the guidebook. Particularly this card, which has a different interpretation. And this reminds me so much of a children's movie, Disney movie, took place in Australia. It had to do with the golden eagles and a young boy who rescued one. There's something about that connection and protection of those who cannot protect themselves, which is traditionally, it's not connected to the energy of the Tower in any way. And so what I'm seeing here is a bird who, it's much like a death card, actually. And I really need to contemplate how one gets up and rises from such an experience, right? So it has to be a soulful journey. There's no other way than to connect with soul. And so let's kind of go, I want to explain. So today's the first reading of the series. So let me explain. I've divided the deck into the 4 suits. This is the suit of cups, suit of wands, suit of swords, suit of pentacles. And then I've chosen an oracle deck to support each of the cards. And so let's go over here to the emotions. This is a card that came up once yesterday as well too. This is the sea god, the King of Cups. The King of Cups, who has transitioned from the heavens to the seas, found his home there, adapted and adjusted, and really expanded and learned to live in that environment. It's quite profound. The Ancestors is the card connected to the emotions from the Oracle of Echoes. And I had a feeling, based on what came up yesterday, that because this is my card as well too, this energy was going to very much be present here. And so this is supporting the suit of emotions. And so let's go to that emotional connection with ancestors. Emotional connection to ancestors. And so in the space of the heart, in the space of perhaps more ancestors who have more recently passed, or perhaps there are traditions that have been lost. Perhaps there is a sacred lineage that you are connected to through sacred practices. This is where the strength will need to be drawn to move through the challenges of the Tower experience. And so expanding, starting, initiating an ancestral altar, maybe just what you need, but also, I'm also very much at home in the sea, and this is calling me to the sea. He also has the trident here. And there is magic in that trident, and there is magic in the tools of magic. And I feel like with such a challenging card to hang out with for 12 months, we need to lean deeply into Hello, Neem. We need to lean deeply into our magic and our mystical moments and our trust and so forth. So yeah, this is the deck that I chose to support the element of wands, the element of magic. This is Fantastic Being by Rebecca Lefebvre. So I'm just going to shuffle, and she's a magical being for this particular card. Miss Neem, what is your card for 2021? So the fantastic being to support you throughout this year. And, I said this yesterday with the plant medicine for your card. My intention here is that these are perhaps journal pages that you keep, that you flag or you tag. So you keep coming back to this plant medicine. You keep coming back to this magical being as supporting you through the light and the dark of your year, whatever that may be. Okay, so the fantastic being for the Tower is, let's cut the deck, Cedar Waxwing. Okay, so let's look at the birdie. This is not a bird that I'm familiar with. And I'll read to you the back. These messages have been so powerful. Rebecca, I just want you to know, in case you watch any of these later, the key word is breathe. Breathe. We humans are gifted at masking our insecurities, failing to ask for help, and rejecting ease in our lives. Rejecting ease in our lives. In addition to external forces working against us, we create our own problems, even perpetuating their presence through our refusal to confront our self-inflicted axioms. Cedar Waxwing, a champion of self-care and fellowship, entreats you to remove your mask, open your eyes, and take a deep breath. It is time to acknowledge your worth, commit to your work, and take care of yourself. You are worthy of your love. Breathe. Okay. So this is definitely one of my personal intentions for 2021, and that is to truly embrace my practices. And I definitely have stepped up for that in December. And I've really made it a habit with 2 of my different practices I do in the morning. And I just feel like the more that I can make this self-care is the more that I will be able to move through this Tower year with ease. And this is a beautiful reminder of that. Okay. And then the Wands card is the Ouroboros. Wow. Okay. So what I would like to do is just go to the Earth Flesh, and welcome to Jen. Welcome to Jen. I did mention the gratitude challenge, Jen, and I've drawn my card for today. And if you would like to put the link to your channel in the chat and just put a comment about the gratitude challenge, that would be amazing. Thank you for that. Okay, let's go to the, so it's really interesting. The deck is called Bone Stone, and the guidebook is called Earth Flesh. The eagle is a regal bird. Above all others, it knows the euphoria of great heights and possesses a unique, big picture perspective. A keen hunter, the primal and wild eagle is a mark of sovereignty, the companion of magicians, queens, kings, tribal leaders, and warriors. Born free, the eagle is not bound to any person unless it chooses to be. The eagle is free of culture and religion. It is simply free, free to choose and free to be. That is until it is bound by the ideals of man. When we bind something, whether for good or for ill, we limit its potential. Wow, let's write that one down. You know, this is also a really good thing, a good message for the previous card, the Devil. When we bind something for good or for ill, we limit its potential. We stifle its natural growth, and we prevent it from achieving unfathomable heights. Such bindings are an act of willful domination and cause destruction, chaos, catastrophe. Here, the warrior's eagle has been captured, changed, dominated, manipulated by the will of another. Its life of freedom has been stolen, its wing broken, its feathers singed. An overwhelming sense of sadness envelopes the eagle, and while the eagle may look defeated, it is anything but. The eagle lays in chains at the edge of a cliff. It remembers what it was like to fly high above the clouds. It remembers its place in the sky. And the feelings of freedom rushes back to him. The more the eagle remembers, the more he summons his primal spirit, and with it, the might of the universe. The universe responds in kind. It is not over. No chain can bind a spirit that is truly free. When the tower appears in a reading, it may signal an unprecedented and abrupt event. The event may appear destructive and catastrophic at first. However, the outcome holds the potential to be extremely healing to the soul. Make no mistake, the tower will test you. As situations unravel and bones are laid bare, the crux of the matter will be last exposed. Only then can it be dealt with once and for all. I wish I could read you the whole thing, but I only have half an hour per card. The thing about the tower is that it can really rattle you, and physically, emotionally, shake you in a way that feels like you're completely raw. And one of my favorite cards is the Tower card in the Philarkos Tarot, where a woman, the lightning or the light or the energy is moving through her whole body, from her crown chakra down through her full body to the earth, much like one would imagine Kundalini energy. And I think this is a year of truly finding that strength of the eagle. You know, we need to be, it's like the lesson of the Dharma doll in Japan, those little roly-poly dolls. You know, you knock them over, they come up. You knock them over, they come up. I find like here's another movie reference, Toy Story. Sid, the horrible little next door neighbor who destroys his toys. I feel like somebody came along with a baseball bat and completely destroyed the Dharma, you know, maybe even broke it, but somehow it had that inner strength to bounce back up again. Right? So this is the energy of the tower. We need to be knocked over to come back up again. And sometimes this is a dark night of the soul. Sometimes it could be anything, right? But those tower moments are so important. We need to know the vulnerability. We need to know, we need to feel it in our bones. We need to feel it in our soul in order to move through this. In a Hierophant year, there's going to be some huge teachings, spiritual teachings in this. And they may have a bit of a dogmatic nature. They may come through your own self-study, being Hierophant versus High Priestess. And I spoke earlier to the Pentacle energy and really embracing the 5 there. And so this truly is a new beginning energetically, rising up from the tower. Beautiful to see the Ace of Wands here. Okay, so in the energy of Earth, we have the Page. Sorry, no, I always think this one is the Page every time I look at it, but it's the 7, right? It could be easily be the Page of Pentacles. Reminds me of the Page of Pentacles in Palin, the English reality deck, Everyday Enchantment Tarot, Poppy Palin. But this is the 7. And if you can look at the care and the patience, obviously this child has learned from an elder how to remove the mushrooms so they continue to grow, so nothing is damaged. There is so much care that's being taken here. It's truly beautiful. So there's really a deep connection here to the earth as well as to the ocean. Okay, and the plant medicine, your plant medicine for this year is comfrey, which is it's a very lovely, I'll share a little bit with you on that one, but let's look to this card as well too. We do have the element of water. Lily of the Valley, I'm assuming this one is. So comfrey is highly medicinal. And where I am, it grows in abundance, And my daughters have really encouraged me to collect it in abundance for teas, for salves, and so forth. And so I'm going to really pay attention to that this year. And if this is your card for 2021, I would encourage you to start paying attention to this medicinal plant as well too. In swords, it's the 10. Doesn't that make perfect sense that the 10 of Swords would come up in a tower year? It's a very similar image. And, you know, until we completely let go and completely let ourselves be ripped open and vulnerable, it's almost impossible to move on. So this is really important. Emphasizing, you know, this tower moment. Okay. This is a card I would expect to come up with a moon reading, which is our next card. And so this is the Illusionist. And this reminds me just to be cautious of how things really are, because what may have precipitated the tower experience was indeed an illusion. And so we create our towers from illusion. We create our towers because of illusion. And there's other language that goes around this: veil, lack of discernment. And so don't, you know, and I'm speaking to myself very much as well too, don't be so humble. You know, being humble is a truly important part of the feeling of the experience of the tower year, so that we can learn to step back and to have as clear sight and as broad a mind and as regal as regal a wisdom. You know, like I feel like the wisdom of the great winged birds is immense and is as old as the ages and is deeply connected to the ancestors as well too. So quite a lot to unpack in this tower reading. So I would take some notes and maybe a screenshot, and then you can go from there. Let me just, thanks for posting that link, Jen. And Neem's going to start a YouTube channel. That's awesome. Yes, it is a really beautiful deck. And Miss Neem says, oh, you're not going to start a channel. Okay. Meet the end with comfort of a new beginning with new knowledge. Yeah, super important. Yeah. Hello, Deborah. Welcome. Miss Neem, you are just such a beautiful part of the chat all the time, and we would all love to be a part of your channel. So anytime you're ready to do that, know that we're here to support you. Yeah, we're here to support you. Oh my goodness. And I don't have time to talk about this now. This may also be part of your medicine tower, people. So to be really, to be looking for feathers and go back and just listen to the cedar waxwing message again. Self-care is super, super important. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to start shuffling for the next card, and I will see you in a few moments. Okay, thanks very much. Namaste.